Hello, my name's Ivan and I enjoy writing stories as a hobby, and I've written a story about Tony who enjoys taking photographs, and it goes like this. Tony loves taking pictures with his 25mm digital camera. He takes it everywhere he goes. It's like his friend and companion. He takes photographs of anything and everything. Tony enjoys the fact that when he takes photos, he's the only person in the world that has it. And seeing it in print and in his hands makes it all so much real. I created this, he says to himself, with pride, and sits and admires his photos, one by one. He could do landscapes, but for him it's too easy, as landscapes just sit there. It doesn't tell you a story or ask a question. What Tony really likes taking photographs is street photography. It's where his passion lies. No 2 days are the same. Anything can happen, and best of all for Tony, he is the master of creative. He decides what to take and what not to take. He loves simple photographs with simple stories, like taking a picture of a lady eating fish and chips standing outside the Slimmers Club sign, or a jogger having a break while having a cigarette. Scenarios where the two subjects contradict each other. He likes walking with his camera at the ready to see and experience life as it happens on the streets of Edinburgh. Having taken photographs for 5 years, he's getting quite good at it and has been successful in getting his photos both local and national newspapers well proud. His plan for this year is to photograph Edinburgh throughout the year and sell the calendar next year. Tony is a confident chap and is happy in his own skin and is easy to get on with. He is very much a happy kind of guy, but he does like his own company. It makes life easier. He can do what he wants when he wants. But today, while walking along the promenade and the Portobello beach, everything is about to change. He's going to get pushed right out of his comfort zone, and here is what happens. As he walks along the promenade with the camera ready, looking for the next shot, and as he was in the middle of the promenade, it's getting busy, and it's where people sit outside the promenade coffee shops, watching the world go by, while others walk past. But all of a sudden, his eye catches a lady having a coffee out of one of the seated tables, out of the coffee shops, and she is beautiful. His natural reaction is to take a picture, but he can't. His body is frozen. So he steps back and tries to hide behind the walking pedestrians and sits in the sea wall, pretending he's checking his camera, but now and again looking up. But the lady spots him sitting on the sea wall and is flattered that someone would want to take a picture of her, and looks right over to him, and her gaze almost knocks him over the sea wall, and she smiles warmly. And Tony feels more confident that she doesn't mind being photographed. So he takes the cover off the camera and tries to take a picture, but the promenade is so busy with pedestrians it's impossible to take a photo without people getting in the frame, and makes his way through the crowds. He spots him coming over and settles into the chair. I may as well enjoy this, she says to herself. With a beating heart, he takes his second picture, and it's looking good, but it could be better. He is going to reposition himself so it's just the lady and the coffee cup and her sexy red lips, and have the coffee window as the backdrop. Just a simple, sexy and equal measure. His timing is just right, as the sun is sliding behind the sea and is casting lovely golden colours on her already beautiful face. He plucks up the courage to speak to her. Would you mind closing your eyes? And when I say open, I'll take a picture. Yes, sure, she says. She closes her eyes and Tony moves right in and changes to macro lens and asks her, open, and takes a picture with her eyes sparkling with the evening sun, and her lips gently kissing the rim of the coffee cup. "Oh, perfect," he says, while looking at the screen at the rear of the camera. "The shot is perfect, and she fills the frame beautifully." "Thank you so much," says Tony. "You've made my day." "Mine too," she smiles. Tony thinks to himself that this will definitely go in the Edinburgh calendar. "I see you have a secret admirer," came a voice from nowhere. "Yes, darling, it's my personal photographer," she says, smiling. And this annoying gentleman, swaggering with confidence and purpose, and suit made to measure, showing his strength and stature, and sits down and joins a young lady with a coffee. And without hesitation, she turns her attention to him, and it's clear to see that they're a couple in love. And with them both looking into each other's gaze and not being able to place a piece of paper between them, Tony is becoming more and more uncomfortable and isn't quite sure what to do next. He certainly didn't want to take a picture of him, the intruder, so he recovered the lens with his cap and placed it back in his bag. He pulled his business card out of his wallet and wants to talk to her and tell her to contact him if she wants to buy photos. But the two of them were so close and up and personal, it's impossible to get to her attention. And he says it anyway. "Here's my business card. Contact me if you want more photos taken," and placed this card on the table. He places the camera on his shoulder and turns to walk away and says bye and carries on looking for the next photo opportunity. 10 minutes later, when the lovebirds decide to come up for air, her other half goes off for more coffee and she spots a card on the table and looks at the name, Tony the photographer, and his mobile number with the tagline, "For all your photographic needs." And without hesitation, she pops it in her bag. "I might just give him a call," she smiles with a cheeky grin. The end. If you would like more videos like this, then I would really appreciate if you would subscribe. It just gives me confidence to know that it's worth my while writing these stories. And if you can give a thumbs up, that'd be great. And of course, please leave a comment and have your say. Thanks for watching.